How's it going, boys? It's me, your favorite Snake Souls merchant, and today let's learn a little bit about how money works in a company and what actually money does with the help of Asmongold. Now, this is a very interesting thing. This video has 400k views, and I have not seen a single comment commenting about what he says is absolutely stupid. This is one of those situations where you should not speak about things that you do not fully understand to a deeper degree. Asmongold's example here is woefully ignorant and stupid. And I want to see if you can actually understand why. It's pretty on the nose for people who understand these type of things, but man, since this part about the 18 mil lawsuit settling came out, I have heard a lot of dumb shit. So, let's watch 40 seconds of this and you tell me if you can figure out what's the problem with what he's saying.
With the equal opportunity and will create an $18 million fund earmarked for compensating victims of harassment and discrimination. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you think this is a lot of money for them? Do you?
No, this is not a lot of money for him. He is absolutely right in that respect, but he's wrong in the whole perspective. So keep this part in mind. He is right, but he is wrong. It will make sense later, trust me.
Do you think that they... Okay, so let's say you make 50 million and you have to pay $18 million. Would you want to invest $18 million to make $50 million?
And there we fucking go. Now, do you understand why this is incorrect and stupid? In a company, you have a million ways to pretty much describe money. There's revenue, there's net revenue, there's income. Some countries, for example, like mine, call it pure income. Net income, all of these things, you have probably heard the term bottom line and so on. This is a woeful ignorance of how money works and what's the point of money in a company. Asmongold is saying currently here that if Activision Blizzard at the end of the year, their net income is 50 million, and net income is the bottom line. It is the amount of money a company is holding after they have paid everything off. They have paid their employees, they have paid for development, they have paid the properties, they have paid absolutely everything they can pay in a year. And that's, well, in his example, 50 million. And he is saying that 50 million is the pure profit. And it's not a big deal that you give 18 million away. Now, considering he owns a company that has already done multiple events, it is kind of mind-blowing that he does not understand how this works. 18 from 50 mil is about 1/3. True, it's not the biggest amount, but it's not how that money works in a company. You see, from these 50 million, it's not like this is just pure profits. This is not like it's just, oh, everything now is mine and I'm gonna be rich. No. 50 million means that that's the budget that they have to work for next year. And when you take 18 million away from that, that means a couple of things. One, they will cut back most likely costs on some kind of development. So if Asmongold wants World of Warcraft to succeed and be a good game, well, in his example, he has completely fucked over World of Warcraft. Because they have 18 million less to work with. Now, admittedly, from the profits I hear someone already saying, but that also can be used to pay out dividends for the shareholders, and dividends can be not paid out if the company chooses to reinvest in development. That is true. But the thing is, a lot of the big investors kind of like the fucking idea that they get passive income out of this. So, restricting, reducing, not paying out the dividends constantly is a super bad idea because, yeah, that means bad things are happening in the company. That means that the company is struggling for money. That means that the company needs to sell more shares of itself so it has more operational funds. It means things like that, but that's not what we're gonna go deep into inside here. Let's completely ignore the dividend part. I just kind of made a brief example of how things work there. So let's completely ignore the fact that there are shareholders and whatnot. So out of those 15 million, after everyone is paid, after Bobby Kotick gets his share, after everyone gets their share, from this 50 million, you need to develop the new World of Warcraft expansion. You need to invest in new things, new concepts, blah blah blah, buy new things. So that means you have 1/3 less to work with. And for a company that's main objective is to deliver, air quotes, a better experience than they did previously, that is a fucking big deal. That's your whole fucking debugging process out the goddamn fucking window. That's worse looking maps. That's worse looking armor sets. That's worse gameplay. That's worse looking skills. That's how it culminates. So saying 18 million is nothing because you make 50 is just wrong and stupid. Now, admittedly, I did not see the live stream. I just saw this video and I thought it's interesting. Thank fucking God he did not mention one of the worst and stupid things that people are currently saying. There's a special breed of morons who are saying, well, 19 million, that's not a big deal. Blizzard is worth like 19 billion. Holy shit. If you're one of those people who say 19 mil is not a big deal because the company is worth 80 or 90 or whatever billion, God, you're a fucking moron. God, you are such a fucking retard. It's insane. When I will explain this in the most easiest terms possible. When someone says a company is worth X amount, they do not mean that they are legitimately worth that much in assets. Assets are shares that the company owns. Assets are pins that the company owns. Everything of that just in one conjunction. When someone says a company is worth X, that means that someone, if they wanted to buy Blizzard, would have to pay 90 billion to buy it. That's what saying a company is worth X actually means. And that price changes pretty dramatically over the course of actions like this. And a lot of people just flat out do not understand. A lot of people are also claiming, well, Activision Blizzard made 8 billion in 2020. People have absolutely no idea what fucking revenue is and what net income is. What are assets and what are these things? If someone says the X company made 8 billion, you ask them, is that net income? Is that consolidated income? Is that operational income? Is that all of these things, right? Which one is it? Because there are multiple ways that you classify money that's going through a company. Revenue is what you sell. If you are selling, figurines for $1 each, and you sold 100, that means your revenue is $100. But your actual income is less than that. Because either you made those figurines yourself, which means you have to subtract employee salaries from one figure. Every one figure that they have made, that you need to subtract expenses for material, shipping, and all of those things. That is income. Sometimes it is referred to consolidated income. In my country, we use the term pure income broadly. There are multiple ways that you classify it. Consolidated operating income is before a couple of things, payments and so on and so on. This is not, this is finances, but, this is more like booking to a degree. But yeah, if you're looking for something and you want to know how much they have actually made, you are looking for a net income. If you want to know how much someone is making at the end of the day, you are looking for the term net or sometimes consolidated income or something like that. Revenue is never an accurate description of how a company is actually performing and how much money they are making. Revenue is meaningless in most situations. And, by the way, this is a pro tip for everyone. You can find pretty much almost any company out there that's on the stock market by just writing their name and saying annual report. And pro tip here, idiots say annual report. If you want to be taken seriously in finances, you do not call this an annual report. That's how the dum-dums call it. You call this a fiscal report, or a fiscal year summary, or a fiscal year. Something, the word fiscal, and then, even if you don't know what you're talking about, you seem smart. That's a pro tip for anyone in finances. Do not ever call this an annual report. You call this a fiscal something. I don't care what kind of fiscal something you call it, but if you want to be smart, you call it fiscal. Fiscal is pretty much the summary of everything that has happened money-wise in a company in a year. Not the correct terminology, but that's pretty much, again, the easy way to explain what fiscal means in these situations. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, World of Warcraft, as much as I could find, has made around 1.1 billion in revenue. Which means if we are going by this, which is Activision Blizzard in total, World of Warcraft most likely has a net income of something like 275 million. Even from 275 million, 18 million still means that they're gonna cut back on something. Because remember, when you're a publicly traded company, no one fucking matters except the investors. And this is a huge fallacy of the world, in my opinion. The fact that you're a publicly traded company, every action that you make needs to be to please the investors. I think that is an extremely bad way that we are currently doing things. I don't think companies should even be publicly sold and owned. They should be individually owned only. But that's a different topic, honestly. But yeah, now hopefully you understand why this is a horrible example. And I am quite shocked that Asmongold made... Like, if he made this number to, like, 20 mil, I would be fine with this. But the fact that he is making this number so goddamn fucking small and saying everything is fine, it's making people essentially more stupid. And again, I cannot find a single fucking comment that says, yeah, what you're saying is bullshit. I can't. There are probably some here because, you know, it's the most upvoted comments. But it's just not true. People who fucking just take this part and think what he's saying is accurate have a woefully ignorant understanding of economics and how money works in a company. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. The biggest takeaway is if you want to be good in finances, you do not say annual report, you say fiscal year. No, seriously. Like, fucking seriously. If you go to a job interview about something in finances and you do not use the term fiscal year when you're talking about shit like this, people will just assume that you actually have no real life experience in the subject. I usually assume that about anyone who does not use the word fiscal year when talking about finances in a year in a company. It's pretty fucking ridiculous, I know, but it's true. It usually ends up being true. But yeah, also, you can find this... Oh, did I even show this? Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. You can find this part pretty much always at the end. It should always be at the end. Some parts maybe are here and there, but it should be at the end. And I did not see when they that they have, by the way, here Blizzard separate from Activision. They have monthly users here, which is kind of... But I did not... I skimmed over it, but I did not see Activision Blizzard. I had to Google for the amount that World of Warcraft itself generates. And, well, it said 1 billion. 1 billion in revenue. And judging by this, but yeah. Anyway, 18 million is not like a meaningless blow. Especially if more lawsuits like that are happening. Admittedly, again, It's not like Blizzard is gonna take the whole brunt of the force here. It's gonna be Activision, and hopefully it's just Bobby Kotick's fucking yearly billion quadrillion bonus going out the window. But yeah. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sen. I hope you learned something today, and have a nice day. Bye bye.